The news now. The chairman of the National Peace Council is asking for more transparency in elections in Ghana.
Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel says ahead of the general election next year, Ghanaians must ensure that polls are almost impossible to rig. He says Ghana has some valuable lessons to learn from the recent elections in Nigeria.
Nigeria is big. Remember, it is the most populous state in our sub-region, if not in Africa. And for them to have an election at a time when you have groups like Boko Haram causing havoc here and there was scary. But I really salute our brothers there for the good job that they have been able to do. It means that the institutions have worked. You know, INEC, for instance, have done superb job. It doesn't mean that everybody is going to be happy with it. And no, you saw how, you know, some members of the incumbent party reacted. But at least they stood to their grounds and they have done the right thing. The Peace Council or the peace movements there have also done very good job. But above all, I salute the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, for conceding. You don't often hear that in Africa. It is the very first time that an incumbent president is losing. Ghana have had an incumbent party losing, but we haven't had an incumbent president losing yet in Ghana. And in most places you find that incumbent presidents have always maneuvered their way. And even in a situation where they are losing, it is not easy for them to concede. Goodluck Jonathan conceded defeat even before the INEC made a formal declaration of the vote. That is what I call statesmanship. That is what I call somebody who understands democracy.
What's the lesson for Ghana?
The lesson for Ghana is written on the wall for us. For Ghanaians to understand that politics, today you are in power, tomorrow the people might decide differently. There is no need for us to fight over issues. All we need to do is to ensure that there is justice in the system, that nobody attempts to maneuver, to if you like, rig. But where things are done in a transparent mood with qualified people handling things in Nigeria, they had some of their best, really with the INEC handling things. Where these things are done, there's transparency. I don't see why, there should be any problem.
Former New Patriotic Party presidential aspirant, Captain Nkrabea Ifadate, retired, has expressed an interest to contest for the Brekum West constituency seats in his party's upcoming parliamentary primaries, which has been slated for June 30.
Captain Nkrabea Ifadate contested in the party's presidential primaries in 2007. As a former member of parliament for the same constituency, he lost to his opponent, Kweku Agyeman-Boateng, in 2008. According to Captain Nkrabea Ifadate, he's contesting because of pressure from party faithfuls and youth of the constituency.
NDC Member of Parliament for Karaga in the Northern Region, Alhassa Swalihu Dandawa, has called for the dismissal of indicted managers of the Ghana Youth Employment and Entrepreneurial Agency, GIDA.
He's warned that the newly established Youth Employment Agency will fail if indicted managers of GIDA are not sacked. In February this year, Parliament passed the Youth Employment Agency Bill to replace the defunct GIDA, which was rocked with several allegations of corruption and misappropriation of funds.
The bill gives legal backing to youth employment and resolves some of the administrative errors of GIDA. Alhassan Dandawa, who is also a member of the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, is however asking government to urgently replace managers of GIDA indicted for corruption, but still opposed.
All right, moving on. President John Mahama says his government has secured funding for a brand new bridge over the Volta River, making it the second after Adome Bridge.
You are speaking to the chiefs and people of Saboba near Yendi during the annual Kumba Youth Association Congress.
And so we are hopeful that the Eastern Corridor will be finished in due time. There's one last portion remaining, which is in fairly good condition anyway, but we just have to make sure that the road is uniform in terms of its asphalt surfacing. And that's the stretch from Asikuma Junction to the Tema Runabout. That will be funded by the African Development Bank in conjunction with the Japanese government. And it includes a brand new bridge over the Volta River, so that we won't have to use only the Adomi Bridge. There will be a brand new 2-lane bridge over the Volta River to make transport even much better.
Well, the President has also promised the people of Saboba that a number of communities in the districts also earmarked for connection to the national electricity grid will be put on, while funds are being sought to work on health and other social projects.
All over the country, wherever I've gone, one of the major demands made by our people is for better roads. We have extended electrification so much so that if you take sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana is the second leading country in terms of access to electricity by its people. South Africa is first, Ghana is second. Ghana is 76%. 76% of our people have access to electricity. And if we finish the current electrification projects that we're doing, Ghana's electricity access will stand at 80%. 80% of our people will have access to electricity. And I know that the people of this area have not been left out, because several communities currently are on the electrification program. Almost 40 of them have been wired and electrified, and we're going to put power into the lines so that they can receive the electricity.
And the President also promised he will increase the number of cucumbers represented in his government.
My attention has been drawn several times, and I'm very aware of it, and I'm going to resolve it by the Kumba Youth Association and also by Uchabobo in respect of the non-representation of the low representation of cucumbers in this administration. I wish to assure you that just be patient. I am going to rectify that situation and make sure that you are properly represented in this government.
We're getting to some business now, and businesses are still worried there has been no significant improvement in the energy situation.
Although the load shedding exercise seemed to have been eased for the Easter celebrations, business owners contend that the whole period of getting light within the period was cosmetic. And Executive Director of the Association of Ghana Industries, Seth Chum Akwabwa, reiterated to Joy News, businesses will continue to lose revenues if the crisis is not immediately resolved.
We have a monitoring mechanism. Companies actually record those in the arrangement or part of the network. They record anytime the power goes off, and then record when it comes back. So at the end of the month, we collect this information and we're able to tell how far or how much power is being given to them. We are yet to do the compilation of the current systems to know whether there has been improvement. For now, we can't say. You see, once in a while, you could see that if you were expecting the power to go off and it doesn't go off, you could be positive about it, but it does not necessarily mean improvement. Have we actually increased the energy stock? You don't want cosmetic improvement. Cosmetic improvement is where if you have if it's weekend, for example, industries are not operating, and then your homes, the lights are not going off, and you say it's improvement. That is not. You need to have a look at the energy stock. Ask yourself, if we are now having a shortfall of 500 megawatts from the Akosombo, from the hydro, are we increasing the thermal production? What are the indicators? What are coming in? We're talking of budgets, new budgets coming. Have the budgets come in to add the 250 or so? If they all have income, how can you talk about improvement? It is still not the best of situation for us, and indeed companies are having serious challenge with it.
Now, the eastern region town of Kumba has over the years become synonymous with Easter festivities, with many revelers trooping to the town to have fun during the period.
But residents of Adidome in the Volta region, however, feel they also have an equally better coup in the Avapa Mountains in the town and want authorities as well as revelers to begin to look their way.
The Avakwe Mountain near Adidome in the Volta region is about 1,500 feet tall and is an undeveloped tourist destination. For some time now, residents have turned the Avakwe Mountain into a recreational center for Easter festivities. Many congregate there now for picnics. The peak of the mountain presents the best view for surrounding communities within the locality. Residents and local authorities are ready for investment and want the tourism potential of the area tapped and developed to the likes of any good one across the world.
Okay, so I will be there next year, God willing. That's if I get a holiday from the show.
We'll see how that goes. And, well, for those of you who had a good time during the Easter, we know that you're back to reality. All right. So next, we have a lot more with sports, and KKB, Kwabna Chenchen Hene Boating, will be here with a lot more sports.
Yes, stay with us. You're still on the AM show. We've got some very interesting things coming your way, so stay with us all through.